Hey, this is Jim McDonald. Welcome to episode 215 of the PowerCast. Way back at the beginning of the show, probably back 210 episodes or so ago, we asked Chris Bell to tell us stories from the Mecca, from Gold's Gym in Venice, of the crazy things that have gone on there. The person that we probably should have asked for the best stories is our guest this week, Mike Ryan. He was the manager at Gold's Gym for a number of years, starting in the late 90s. He's also now a celebrity trainer. He was The Rock's first trainer, and he's worked with a lot of celebrities. He also has some crazy stories, personal stories about, let's put it this way. All of you know that adults have sex with each other, and so a lot of his stories revolve around that, and if that's something that is not your cup of tea, this will not be your episode. However, it's also not safe for work. However, it's hysterical, and I'm sure that everybody will enjoy it if they can get past that one point. So we had a great time talking to Mike. We'll be back next week with another episode of the PowerCast. Support for this episode of the PowerCast comes from Reebok, home of the legacy lifter at Reebok.com. 8-Man apparel for people who lift heavy weights at 8manstrong.com. Compex muscle stim products at CompexUSA.com. Use the code PowerCast and get an additional 28% discount. HowMuchYouBench.net, home of Mark Bell's Slingshot. Use the code PowerCast and get 15% off slingshots and free shipping on orders of $100 or more. And Bodybuilding.com, the world's largest fitness website and supplement store. Bodybuilding.com has free plans for every level. Got 2 bits of business from Bodybuilding.com. Who's in need of some supplements? Bodybuilding.com and us at the PowerCast, we have you covered. Bodybuilding.com is giving away a 5-pound container of top-of-the-line protein bars, and pre-workout. That's right, free stuff. Go to Mark Bell's PowerCast on Instagram. Tag 3 friends in the comments of today's post about the PowerCast. Tag 3 friends at Mark Bell's PowerCast. Also, you must be following at bodybuilding.com and the podcast at Mark Bell's PowerCast to enter. So enter and good luck. Also, second point of business, all Muscle Tech products are off 30% off for 3 days. That's August 16th through 18th, 2017 only. So today, as the episode comes out, and for the next couple of days. So get on it, get some Muscle Tech products.
Recorded live in Los Angeles, California, this is Mark Bell's PowerCast. Standing just to the left of Jim McD, here's your host, Mark Bell.
Do I have
to? Just pretend I'm Diamond Dallas Page's wife.
The door being open is okay?
Yeah,
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think it gives us more light.
Cool. Yeah, I'm okay with the...
Hey, look, I'm just asking.
I know you just direct things.
I'm just here for the food.
Yeah.
Surprising.
So Mike Ryan comes barging through the door here. I think he knocked it down with his boner. He's 51 years old, still hard as a rock, all over.
Raging boner.
I'm 53
Why?
and I'm soft as a marshmallow. So.
Everywhere. Why?
I had a boner last night. Seriously, it was so fucking hard. And this girl was like, "Oh my god, that's the hardest boner I've ever felt." And I'm like, "Isn't it?"
All the blood's just there. It hurts.
Yeah. Like I went from tan to pale.
Yeah. That's great. It still happens for you.
Well,
I know.
You train a lot of celebrities, and one time...
Celebrity boners?
Yeah, this is a celebrity boner story. I mean, he was in Europe with one in particular, Mickey Rourke.
Oh, yeah. God, that's my great celebrity
Mickey's
boner
the man.
story.
Can you tell us that story? Recount that a little bit for Smelly?
I've heard this.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
this is a classic Mickey story. So we're in London, and I'm working with Mickey Rourke. And if you don't know Mickey, he's a fucking wild man.
The wrestler?
Yeah,
The movie The Wrestler, yep.
The wrestler, his every iconic movie in the 80s, he was...
Sin City.
Sin City.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just...
8.5 weeks.
I love Sin City.
9.5 weeks.
9.5 weeks.
Yeah, he missed a week.
I was drunk that week.
That's awesome. So I get out there. First he has me dog nap. I'm in the dog nap. I mean, that whole London trip was insane. I get story after story, but we would be going out like at 11 or 12 at night and coming in at 6 in the morning, and he would sleep on set, and I would want to train. I want to eat good. I'm like, this fucking guy is killing me. And every night we go out. Mickey's an international celebrity, so no matter what happens, girls would come home with us. It was so fucking easy. So I'm telling him.
Sounds gross.
I know, yeah, totally.
That's
So I'm
terrible.
like, Mickey, I'm taking a beating here. Last night, I mean, I couldn't even blow a load. I couldn't even get it up anymore. I don't know what the fuck to do. He calls me Muscle. He's like, Muscle, don't worry about it. I got you covered. I'm like, all right, cool. So we go out. We're in this crazy club and drinking, partying, nuts. Same thing, like 4 a.m. These 2 really hot models just come up and they're like, take us home. That's how easy it was. So I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Mickey, we got these hot chicks.
Hey, we're handsome. We understand the Bell Brothers.
Yeah,
We've fucking
it
been
does
there.
happen all the time.
Of course it does.
In Davis and Poughkeepsie, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
we used to smash back in the day.
yeah, in Poughkeepsie, yeah.
Well, these girls weren't your quality girls, obviously. They were models. So, cut to it. We're leaving. I'm like, Mickey, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm panicking. You know, he's like, Muscles, I got you covered. This thing's called this is over 15 years ago, so I don't even know what the fuck Viagra was back then. He's like, you see this little blue diamond pill? It's a Viagra. You're going to take this and you're going to love me.
You're going to change your life.
It's going to change my life. I'm like, oh, fuck. When do I take it? He's like, open up. So I'm like, pops it right in. I'm like, oh, cool. So these girls walk out with us. And one of the girls like, I got a car. So I'm like, all right, you follow us. And we had this Turkish driver. He was mad. I'm like,
Don't ever trust them.
yeah, totally. I'd be like, don't fucking drive like a lunatic. Go slow or this girl falls. And he always just, he'd be like, fuck you. That's all he would say. He would just swear at me all day long. Fuck you. I'm like, good morning. He'd be like, fuck you. You know what I mean? And he would
That's
just
like
swear
all
at
he
me.
knows.
Yeah,
in English,
yeah,
fuck
totally.
you.
Fuck you. So he took off. He flew 1,000 miles an hour driving. I'm like, slow the fuck down. Mickey's in the back seat with his date. I'm in the front seat with the bad Turkish driver. So he took a Viagra. They start grinding him. I'm just watching. I'm like, oh man. I'm watching him. I'm starting to get a boner. I'm like, oh, this shit's fucking awesome. Totally. I'm like, this is wild. So he's driving like a lunatic. I'm like, fucking Turkish, slow down. Fuck you. You know. So we get to the hotel. We get out. I tell this girl, I'm like, hey, call your girl. Make sure she's coming. She's like, all right, calling. No answer. I'm like, oh, fuck. She's like, don't worry. That means she's driving. She's not going to pick up the phone. I'm like, cool. We go up to the room. So Mickey starts crazy. He's like, Muscles, how you feeling? I'm like, Mickey, that fucking pill is kicking. He tells his girl, he's like, honey, give Muscles here a lap dance. And this girl's hot. She starts stripping down to her G-string. She's grinding me. I'm like, oh, fuck, that is awesome. You know what I mean? And it's just, I'm like, this is unbelievable. She's grinding me. I'm like, you got to call your girl. It's fucking insane. Call her. She's like, all right. She's like, no answer yet. I'm like, oh, damn. And Mickey's cracking up. So we're just drinking more. He's like, Muscles, how's little Mickey doing down there? I'm like, fucking little Mickey is ready for action like nobody's business, you know? He's like, all right. He's like, give him Muscles one more lap. I'm like, no more fucking lap dance. All of a sudden the phone rings. She's like, I'm like, finally. She's like, oh, really? She's like, no. Oh, okay. And I'm like, what? She's like, she was trying to catch up with us, but she got pulled over and she has a DUI. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm calling Turks. I'm gonna go bust her out of jail. He's like, she's only 18, so the drinking age is 21. They have to hold her all weekend. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, no fucking way. This is
You gotta call a doctor.
It was horrible. Yeah. So Mickey starts cracking up. And I'm like, what the fuck are you laughing at? He's like, he looks at me, and I'm like, get your girl over here. He's like, get the fuck out of here, Muscles. And so I fucking dive. I dive in his bedroom, and I start mauling his chick while he's there. He's screaming, Muscles, get out of here. I'm just running around with a boner. I don't know what to do. I'm like, hey, someone. I'm fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, anybody.
Yeah, so he's like, Muscles, just hold on a second. Go outside. We'll talk about it. I'm like, he goes, I'll call another girl for you. I'm like, all right. So I step out. He fucking shuts and locks the door. He's like, good night, Muscles. I'm like, oh, you fucking asshole. So I'm in the hallway with a boner in my boxers. I'm like, what the fuck? And we're in this hotel. It's called the Dorchester in London. Like, my next door was Kofi Annan, the head of the UN. I mean, there was so many dignitaries, everything. I'm in the fucking lobby running around with a boner in boxers. And I'm fucking just going out of my mind. And the door guys loved us. You know what I mean? These door guys were cracking up. They're like, Muscles, what do you got going on? I'm like, fucking Mickey gave me a fucking Viagra. My dick won't go down. You know what I mean? They're cracking up. So I go upstairs. I throw on my running gear. So I'm like, fuck it. We're right next to Hyde Park. It's an 8-mile run. So I fucking ran it. I'm like, come down. My first 3 miles, I'm actually running with a boner. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm like, holy shit.
Still killing you.
Yeah. So after 8 miles, I'm exhausted. I come in. The door guys are cracking up. I'm like, done, cured, it's over. I go to take a hot shower. Once the hot shower, I start lathering up. All of a sudden, you scrub it. I'm like, oh, fuck, I got a boner again. So I just beat off. I beat off in the shower. I'm like, good, done, sit down. And I'm like, so I'm laying in bed, finally fall asleep, you know, because we haven't slept. And by now it's like 9 in the morning, been up for 32 straight hours. Wake up immediately with a boner again. I'm like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Go beat off again. I'm like, this is ridiculous, you know what I mean? Knock on Mickey's door. Mickey's, his girl, the girl's still with him, this fucking hot model. So I'm looking at her. She's like, hey, she's like, what's up? I'm like, are you guys getting up? She's like, in 5 minutes. So I'm looking at her, and she walks away, and I see her ass. All of a sudden, I get another boner. I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to go back to my room, beat off again. It was nonstop, just
celebrity boner stories.
Running, training, and beating off, yeah. So that was my stint with Viagra. and I've been on it ever since.
Through all these different scenarios that you've been in, you've told us a lot of great stories over the years. Have you ever just been like, how the fuck did I get in these positions? It's from training people. I mean,
sure. And he was also the manager of Gold's Gym Venice from Boston area, right? Peabody, Massachusetts.
Peabody, definitely.
And you moved out here in what year?
90.
So 90. I came out here in 94. I met you like pretty much like the first day.
Yeah.
You were working at Gold's, but you're always like dressed up. So I'm like, oh, this guy must be important.
Yeah.
But the thing was about you is you were always so fucking cool to us. Like you became the manager of
Worst
Gold's,
mistake of my life. I should have thrown you guys out day one.
And ever since you became the manager, I think I had a free membership for like the past 17 years since I've known you.
Oh, right on.
Or something like that. It was more than that. When were you the manager? 20-something years.
Yeah.
23 years or something like that.
He's your longest relationship.
Yeah, probably like one of the first
Other
people
than me,
I know.
but I don't count.
I mean, we don't like each other, but I've known him.
Oh, he's a fucking prick.
But the thing is, at the first day of Gold's Gym, the first day that he worked there, some shit went down, right?
Oh, that was insane, yeah. I first started, when I came out here, I was staying in Redondo with my brother. So I just fell in a position that I was running the Golds in Redondo, but I was training at Venice all the time because it was the Mecca. Everyone wanted to be there. So I ended up meeting the owners, and they're like, oh, you know, what do you do? And he goes, why don't you come up here and, you know, let me know if you'd like to run the place. So my first thing, I said, all right. So I would go up there and just go to the guys at the desk. I'd be like, hey, I want a day pass. And the guys at the desk were insane. They'd be like, what are you here for? I'm like, oh, to train. They're like, nah, turn around. So I'm like, fucking, I'm turning around. He's like, all right, we're gonna bring your back out. Calves are pretty solid. And they would just put a gym bag on the counter. Okay, this is what you need. This is what you need. This is what you need. They would just start pouring drugs out on the counter. I'm like, I just wanted to buy a guest pass. They're like, don't worry about that. You need this. You need this. And I mean, it became insane. I'm like, oh, and I felt like, oh, I guess I gotta buy this. And the guy's like, what else you need? I don't know. How about a gun? He laid some guns down. I'm like, this place is fucking insane.
Like I'm trying to lift.
Totally. I just wanted a day pass. So I'm realizing that I'm going to end up after firing these guys, and they're all going to want to kill me. But that's what I had to do. So I showed up the next day. Guy's like, oh, you want the drugs? I'm like, no, I just want to train today. Then after like the third day, I come down in Peak Room because he's like, hey, this is Mike Ryan. He's going to be the new GM here. And all the guys at the desk were like, fuck. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. You guys are done. Take your shit. You're done. You know what I mean? I'm cleaning this place out. And all these guys are like, you're fucking dead. I'm like, all right, I'll be in the parking lot at 5 o'clock.
So you knew everyone knew that they were selling shit or whatever, right?
Yeah. And that's what because back then it was just, no one cared, you know what I mean? And it was,
right.
And Pete was a smart guy and he realized, you know, we're making money, but if this gym was running efficiently, he could make a whole fucking lot of money.
Right.
And that's what happened.
That's a huge gym.
Yeah, so I cleaned it out. It was just bodybuilders that worked there. No one, and bodybuilders.
And Tom File, by the way.
Yeah, Tom, yeah.
Who works out at his gym now,
I know,
20 years later.
And Tom was nuts. He was absolutely
insane.
We call him Crazy Tom.
You know, Tom, I don't know if you know this.
Yeah, we know those stories.
Yeah.
Some of the stories.
Don't worry.
Yeah, totally. I mean, he had a little sidetrack from Robin Banks, but besides from that, he came back.
It was only like 9 banks.
Was it?
That's what he said.
Was it like while he was working there, or was it after?
No, we had to keep going back for a court date.
Before,
yeah.
Oh, beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nuts. I'm like, what's your resume? Bank robber? Okay, you're hired.
Yeah, sounds
Power
good.
lifter
Well, I
slash
asked him
bank
one
robber.
time, remember the first day he came in the gym, I go, now, was it true or was it a rumor that you went to jail for robbing banks and that's why you left Gold's? He's like, that is such a lie. I went to jail for robbing banks before I worked at Gold's. After was for an 8-ball of coke and a handgun. And he's like, but that's all it was.
Yeah.
Priorities.
He's like, I can't even believe that was a thing. He's like, who
believe
cares?
that was a thing.
He's like, who cares?
That was a traffic stop, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think so. Got away from a concert.
Well, that typified your typical member slash
Right.
trainee slash trainer for Gold's Gym. I mean, it attracts all the lunatics, which it's so colorful. That's why it's the greatest place in the world to train.
The Star Wars Cantina.
The Star Wars, it is.
What gave you the history to be the general manager of Gold's Gym?
What gave me the
Yeah,
history?
like what? Like, did you have a resume of some kind of?
I was a
Just
teacher.
handsome.
Yeah, I was ridiculously handsome. No, I have a degree in business. I was actually a history teacher back in Massachusetts, and I just came out here because I was taking the summer off, and everything just fell into place. So when these guys saw me and said, "Oh, you got a business degree, and and you're into fitness."
Well, hold on. Let's talk for real. He moved out here and he was dating Monica Brandt.
No, I met her at Gold's.
Okay, well, she's like the hottest fitness model in the world
Of all time.
That gave him credibility right off the bat.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's how we knew him. We're like, oh man,
It's like,
he's
you
with
know,
fucking Monica Brandt. We're like, oh,
we wanted to sniff her panties all
You
the
wanted
time.
to sniff my balls. Is it true?
whatever way we can get, whatever way we can get access to it. You know what I mean?
I know. A win's a win. Yeah,
So I mean, we remembered that for sure.
of course.
But you were always like the cool guy all the time. Like,
was
oh,
the
Mike
cool guy.
Ryan is always shredded. You've been in 5% body fat pretty much since we've known you. How do you?
The only
maintain
time I was
that
out of
shit?
shape when I was born. I had these chubby little calves, and the next day I went for a little road work.
Yeah. How long were you fat for when you were born? Just a couple months, maybe.
A couple hours.
Just a couple hours. So you went to school and then you came out.
I got to finish my first day of the job.
Okay.
So I clean it all out. The next day I go to hire. Next day, I'm just sitting at the desk. I'm introducing myself. Hey, I'm Mike. I'm going to be running the gym now. Things are a little different. We're going to have you check in. And everyone's like, everyone's just giving me shit. Fuck you.
You gotta
fuck
check in. What?
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, it was insane.
It's like your
fuck
crew.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, back then it was a free for all. I mean, people just showed up. No one give a fuck.
Hundreds of people with free
Yeah,
memberships,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
The memberships ran out a long time ago.
Absolutely.
But didn't you give also memberships to all the Playboy Playmates
Oh, that
and
was
things like
that's when I took over. I had a good marketing
You had
plan.
a plan.
I had a plan.
So what
and it
happened on
worked.
that first day?
So the first day there was this bodybuilder walks by. I'm like, hey, I'm like, Ryan. He's like, I'm not a fucking cocksucker. I said, oh god, this guy's from Boston. I'm gonna hate him already.
Hey, why is it in Boston that the transitional word instead of like and, the, and it's fucking?
I know.
Fucking.
It really is.
It's always like they pause and fucking.
And the worst part is even parents say it.
Yeah.
Like, here's a quick funny. I'll side note this. I took Monica back to Boston. She's like, I want to go to Boston. I heard so much fun. I go, so many things. A lot of lunatics, So we went to this bar. I said, we got to go to this bar like between 12 and 4. She's like, why? I said, because I'm not having you in this bar with all these Irish hooligans at 4 o'clock on. She goes, 12 to 4 is like where the moms and grandmothers drink. She's like, you're kidding me. I'm like, yes. We went to this hardcore Irish bar and she just saw this grandmother do a shot and fall off the stool right on her back. and the other ladies, the other grandmothers were just laughing. And Monica's like, no way. I go, yeah.
Where are we?
happens every day.
Yeah, I go, and she's like, and no one cares. I said, yeah, they're all going to pass out. And at 3:59, someone's going to drag them off, and all the guys are going to come in. I go, she's like, she just couldn't believe it. And the grandma was like, are you fucking drinking or what? Get the fuck off the ground. And she's like,
That's great.
It's insane. Yeah, so this guy, cut back to the first day. This guy, he's swearing at me. I said, oh, he's from Boston. I'm like, where you from? He's like, I'm fucking from Dorchester. I'm like, thief, robber, scumbag. Yeah, Pete Doherty. So he proceeds to I'm like, well, I'm the manager. He's like, okay, nice to meet you. Right when he shakes my hand, this other big bodybuilder comes by and just fucking checks him right from behind the back. Like, almost into me. I'm like, whoa. He's like, hey, you sold me bad shit. And the guy from Boston's like, it ain't my fault your genetics suck. I'm like, what? He's like, fuck you owe me money. I want my fucking money back. He's like, your fucking calves are terrible. Your back doesn't flare. Your chest is weak. Don't blame me.
Fucking bodybuilding fight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm like, and I've never heard this argument before in my life. You know what I mean? I've never seen a guy just totally disgrace someone for having bad genetics and the other guy just saying his juice sucks. So that's the step, and they start going, it gets heated. I want my fucking money, blah, blah, blah. So the guy goes, I'm going to take my bat. I'm going to get my money out of you. So the Boston kid, he goes, okay, you go get your bat. Puts on his gym bag, pulls out a pistol as he walks away, taps him on the shoulder. The guy turns around, fucking pistol whips him right across the face. Boom.
Jesus Christ.
Like,
right inside, it's inside the gym?
Right inside the gym. I'm you. I'm this far away. I'm like, what the fuck? These guys are insane. He's mad because his calf's bad, and he starts beating him. He starts whipping him. I mean, the guy's fucking face splits home, and this guy's so mad he cocks his gun. And I'm like, he is going to execute a guy right now for having
There's calves.
for having bad genetics. And he cocks his gun. Then, if you remember Paul DeMeo,
Yeah.
who was this big fucking
Quadzilla.
cat.
Yeah,
Quadzilla
huge.
comes and tackles this guy through the door, The door explodes. The glass goes flying everywhere. People are diving. They're all hiding under the seats.
Yeah.
Tackles him. The gun goes flying. He picks him up. The two guys, because Paul was from Boston. So he grabs him. They drive away. The guy in the bloody mess. Another bodybuilder comes and drags him away. And I'm just sitting there. First day, I got blood splattered all on me. And I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing here? And all of a sudden, the owners come out there like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. It's something about... I guess if you have bad genetics, you can get killed in this town. You know, so the funny thing,
not worth it.
It's not
That's
worth
great.
it.
Go in there. Do not go in there.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, it goes to court, and they have cameras. So the police are all cracking up when I show up because I'm testifying what happened, and all the cops they're all trained there. They're giggling. I'm like, what the fuck is so funny? It's like, just watch you on film. So this is me on film. When he starts beating them, I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like. His calves aren't that bad. They're trying to. I'm mouthing all these things, you know. I don't know why this guy's getting executed for having terrible genes. So the cops are cracking up. That was my fucking first day. It was.
He's
insane.
getting hauled away in the cop car, and you're like, buddy, like your calves aren't that bad, just so you know. Like,
I know.
Well, back in the day, bodybuilding was crazy back then,
Yeah.
and we had Flex Wheeler,
Oh, yeah.
Paul DeMeo, Mike Matarazzo, Mike Christian,
Chris,
Jim Quinn,
Paul
all this,
Dillett.
everybody, right? The
Huge.
Barbarian
Everyone
brothers.
was it.
Everybody
Everyone
was
was it.
gigantic.
remember Dillett? Paul
Yeah.
Dillett?
Paul Dill was the funnest guy. He would walk 2 feet, and he was like 320 shredded. He walked 2 feet, take a rest, and we were like, "How you feeling?" He'd be like, "I swear I'm in the best shape of my
We
life."
always used to talk about fucking attacking him because he's so like tired all the time.
He had
I'm
to
like,
take.
I want to just like as soon as he turns around, I want to just fucking jack him up right.
You
in
know
the
what the
fucking
funny thing is?
chest
He
and
would take
tackle
it.
him.
He would take a cab from Gold's to the firehouse.
Yeah.
He couldn't make it. He couldn't make a 300-yard walk.
We'd see him dying all the time, breathing, and we're like, it would be so great just to fucking run in and just pow him over.
But yeah, that bodybuilding was in its heyday back then.
Yeah.
But remember the biggest guy we ever saw, God rest his soul, Jeep Swenson.
Oh, Jeep was
He
huge.
used to hang out.
He was Bane.
He was what, 420 pounds? Something
Yeah,
like that?
he was a friend of the owners, and they
Almost
pulled
as
it.
big as like Brian Shaw.
Curled
but not- maybe
225
not
for
as
reps,
tall.
like it was just part of his workout. It wasn't like a feat of strength.
And in Texas, he had a tiger farm. You know what I mean? Like every picture you saw him, he was like tigers were mauling him. You know what I mean? So he came in. The first time he came, he had like this one long braided ponytail all the way down to the ground, and he had this beard. And he knew the owners. So
What a fucking great name, Jeep Swenson.
So he knew the owners, so he went over there first, talked to Tim, and he's like, who do I talk to? They're like, go talk to Mike, but go fuck with them. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting at the desk, all of a sudden this door opens up, he's like, where's Mike? I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah, he was about 6'4" or 6'5".
No, it was 6'8".
Oh, was it? Was that big?
Massive.
Yeah.
He was a fucking
But
giant
his
human,
arms were like the biggest I've ever seen.
giant human being. And
And
I'm like,
he would just hover over the desk.
and he would, and I'm like, holy fuck, I hope I didn't fuck this guy's daughter or something. I'm like thinking everything running through my head. I'm like, this guy, and he's like, you're Mike Ryan? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, motherfucker. And I'm like, oh God. I'm like, what did I do? Before he killed me, let me know my death sentence. I'm thinking to myself, but I got calves. and he's like, motherfucker, you know who I am? I'm like, no, but fuck, why are you swearing at me? And what's your problem? And he just started. He was a nice guy that he couldn't hold a straight face. He started cracking up, and the other guys, the owners, Tim and Ed, were fucking laughing their ass off. I'm like, holy shit, my fucking heart is racing. You're the biggest guy in the world. I thought you'd just bite my head off.
Yeah, he was always a nice guy.
Oh, nicest guy. There was one guy who's giving him, if you remember one of the guys, Mike Lanahan, and there was this boxer.
Yeah.
This boxer was giving him a fucking hard time, you know what I mean? And he was this big, tough fucking pro boxer dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Mike was just fun, playful. He's like, fuck you, I want to take you outside. Mike's like, oh, man. All of a sudden, Jeep walks through the door, and he's like, take me outside. The boxer's like, what do you mean? He's like, he fucking grabbed him by the throat and just elevated this guy. And this was a big, tough guy. And this guy, I just saw the fear in this guy, and this guy just drained. And he's like, you ever fucking walk through this door, I will fucking bite your face off. And this guy left, and I'm like, oh my God, you're the fucking, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen. And Mike was like, wow, I thought I had to fight this guy. I knew it was tough. It was unbelievable. Yeah.
Were you training people a little bit before you got the job at Gold's Gym, or was that kind of more after?
It was after. But when you're there, it's a 24 hours, 24/7 job, you know? So the cool part was, like, when the wrestlers would come in town, they would always come to my office first, because the office, I had the best office. It was in the middle of the gym, and it had two-way glass. So you go up there, and I would go up there, and it was like Pervert row. especially when the restaurants in town. They would just put chairs against the glass and just check out all the fitness girls. And I would walk in, it'd be like an auditorium full of guys just sitting there, and I'm like, hey, you fucking perverts, what are you doing? They're like, shut up. Who's this girl? Hey, who's that girl? Who's that girl over there? And they'd be like, you got to change that machine so we can get a better angle here. Yeah, totally.
So when you first walk in the gym, the very first thing you see was a leg curl machine.
Yeah, totally. Ass is right there.
Like
totally.
right in your face. I was like, why? This gym is set up so weird. You walk in, there's a leg curl.
Yeah.
Like,
and then you see all the guys.
Obvious.
Then you just see the guys at the desk all day long like.
He's like, what do you want to see? A bodybuilder doing squats or something? I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
There
now.
you go. Sex sells.
I'm the guy with the John Cena picture hanging up on the wall.
When did you start? When did you start lifting?
Myself personally, I started training when I was 12. My
Kind
dad
of for football or kind of just for?
Yeah. Well, my dad was a big guy and he was an athlete and he had a colorful life. We had this crazy childhood that basically raised by the mob. You know, he had no dad, so the guy that raised him was a big gangster in Boston. So my dad was hanging around with these really big thuggy dudes. So
right.
Yeah, so that's all he did. They just worked out.
And your dad, like, you have a very good work ethic from your dad too, because like he's the type of guy that like gets up in the morning, makes his bed, like everything's perfect at his house. Like,
totally. That's why no girl can live with me.
Yeah, you're
I'm
very
fucking
very militant about everything and about your training and nutrition as well, though, because people say, well, like Mike Ryan. You know, he just has good genetics. But you've been, like, on the grind since you were 12, basically.
Yeah.
You've been trained like him. And people don't understand that. Like, he never really gets that out of shape. Even if he gets so fat for powerlifting, he can reel it back in very quickly because he's always been doing it since he was 12.
Well, he is out of shape.
Stopped, you know? Well,
it's a long work in progress.
Yeah. But I'm saying you go in circles, but at least, like, he's just kind of done it forever, you know?
Yeah,
So it's like,
I do have that strict discipline just instilled in me.
Yeah.
Are you pretty tight with the diet?
Yeah, I mean, I fuck off now more than I've have in years, but Monday through Thursday, Friday morning, I'm pretty spot on.
But it's funny because people look at him because he has a great time in life. He's always laughing, always smiling, always like out partying a lot on the weekends. But like he always just reels it back in, right? So it's all about balance with you. You don't seem to ever get out of control.
I mean, if I'm gonna drink,
well, except for the last time we drank together, like 3 years ago, before I was sober, we had a 4th of July blast extravaganza where we got hammered.
We
and then
up by
the neighbor asked, is Mike okay? Because he was walking around naked all day in his house. And
well, he always does that.
Well, he had these blinds that were like wide open.
I never shut them. Yeah, my house is always wide open.
And it's on a walk street that goes to the beach, so everybody could see it. So
I'm like passed out naked on the couch. I'm like passed out naked on the couch.
And then neighbors were asking me, like, is he all right? I'm like, oh yeah, he's fucking
Is he breathing? He's fine. Has he got a boner? He's fine. He'd be like, just go check his boner.
He loves being naked.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I would too if I was like shredded.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, buddy.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you got to do some work in India, like you've been all over the world training people.
Well, for my career at Gold's, it was a greatest fucking thing I've ever did. You know, in working there, I met so many cool people, so many dynamic people.
It's a stepping stone. I have to say the same thing for me, for my whole career.
Yeah, absolutely.
Working at Gold's was the cornerstone of everything.
It was a launching pad for everything. And Gold's
John
itself.
Cena. You worked there?
Yeah, Gold's itself was a launching pad for so much.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah. I mean, UFC started at Gold's. I mean, everything. All the ellipticals. Gold's was the trial and error for so many equipment manufacturers.
Right.
Well, like, we know people that started MTV that work at Gold's. Like, people that he trained there. Like, they've started all these companies. They're entrepreneurs. They're the biggest of the big people.
Well, here's the craziest thing. Years ago, Jon Favreau and Robert Downey Jr. used to train at Gold's Gym. And then one day, I saw those knuckleheads at the Comic Zoo store reading comic books.
Iron Man.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys are into comic books? And Robert, we fucking love them. I'm like, no way. 10 years later, Marvel is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and you could say it started at Gold's Gym.
I did not know that those guys hung together long before. Maybe was that
there was a big Venice connection with everybody. Like, if you look at like Ray Liotta hangs out with Peter Berg, hangs out with like all these guys are all Nick Cassavetes and Justin Timberlake, and all these guys are all at Gold's, and they're all kind of on the down low too. There's like a little training facility that's kind of off to the side where some of the guys will train a little privately and stuff like that. But they all come through there. Everybody sort of has run through that.
And the
gym.
funny, Gold's Gym is like the athlete that doesn't want a golf meeting place. You know how like the guys, the executives who hate their wives or just want to go out on a golf course for 5 hours and do a deal. These are the guys.
Magic Johnson every single morning, and the president of William Morris, and all sorts of stuff every morning. and you wouldn't know them from like each other either. And they're working out right next to the guy that lives in his van. They're working out with like Paul because like nobody cares. Everybody's cool. Everybody's there for a common goal, and it doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank account. It just matters like, is that guy cool or not?
Yeah. Well, Goals was neat because after the riots in '92, I mean, LA was a powder keg. You know what I mean? There was so much racial tension that Venice. I mean, there was fires everywhere. Places broken into. Goals was the only place that's never been tagged. That's how much mutual respect for that gym is. Yeah, when I was there,
there's gangs everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, behind there was the Bloods, Crips, and the M13, the most feared gangs in the world. So when I ran it, one of the things that Pete recommended is like try and get all the gang guys in there and talk to them. So I gave the heads of each gang. I'm like, you guys can all train. I'll give you comp your memberships, but let's have Gold Gym as a free zone, hands off. And those guys are like, you let us train for him? I'm like, fuck yeah. He's like, no worries. And the funny thing. There was a time
Bloods, Crips, and Playmates all free.
Yeah. Well, there was a Times reporter because after I wish I had this magazine, but after the riots, he was going to all like neighborhoods after neighborhoods. That this Times reporter came in. He's like, I'm going to train. I said, come to Gold's. You'd be fascinated. This guy worked out with a priest and a porn star, a cop and a gang leader. I mean, everything when you stepped out, it was like that old Bugs Bunny or Wile E. Coyote commercial, with the sheepdog and the wolf.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. It's like Born to Sam, Born to Rap. And all of a sudden, they punch the clock. Yeah. They hate each other, and after they punch the clock, they go get a beer. That's what it was like. They would come to Gold's, and there was just such unity and friendship and camaraderie in this gym that everyone got along. But after it'd be like, okay, I'll see you tonight on the street somewhere. Right. And across the street telling these guys, and they'd be fucking laughing. Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Yeah, the guy at the gym. Yeah, I had to kill him, but it was.
I know. He was a good guy.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of stuff go down there, but also like a lot of great stuff. And over the years, it's changed. It's nothing like that anymore. Yeah, I have to say, like they've really,
it's corporate.
It's more corporate, but and then just recently, the past couple weeks, they've made tremendous actual change in the gym to bring in about 10 squat racks, about 30 new pieces of cardio. The new manager, Jeff, that's there is doing an awesome kick-ass job. So I actually just want to commend. Jeff. Yeah, I want to commend and say that we love Gold's Gym. We're talking about the old days as like this nostalgic period, not to say like, oh, people did this and that in Gold's Gym. We're just saying that happened in the past, but now it's very like different and it's an awesome place to train.
Why did you?
They just put turf outside and everything too, so
it's cool.
People got to come check it out if they're in Venice.
Why'd you leave?
I just had a pretty cool opportunity. I was working. It was funny. Another funny story. I was training this. I feel this guy staring at me, and I would either train dirt early or late at night. Because when you're in the people are like, hey, my membership's I'm like, fuck, I just want to work out. So it was one day, only one day that I'm training during my lunch break, and I see this guy just staring at me. I'm like, here we go. He's like, are you a model? And I'm such a, I'm just being a dick. I'm like, actually, I am. He's like, yeah, I thought so. I'm like, yeah, I model socks and umbrellas. I'm pretty famous. You'll have to talk to my agent. And he's just like, socks and umbrellas. So I said, no, I'm fucking with you. I'm not a model. He's like, oh, well, my name's Cal Yee. And I go, well, you work for Weeder. He's like, big photographer Joe Weeder. I said, I know who you are. He's like, well, actually, I got hired by Bill Phillips. And I'm looking to find natural guys to endorse his products in his magazine. I said, well, I know Bill. What's he doing? He said, he sold Matrax. He just bought this company, EAS. And he wants to have a whole new approach to get natural guys. We'd be up for a drug test. Of course, I'm like, well, what are we testing for? He's like,
and when are we doing?
Yeah, he's like, oh, I got to make sure you're not on steroids. I'm like, well, that's no problem. I can take that test. So I go to a clinic the next day, and I get a pee in a cup in front of this guy who looked remotely like you.
It wasn't me.
Him now or him then?
Him now.
Okay.
Yeah. No, so I pee in front of this cup, and then 2 days later, Bill calls me. He's like, hey, we want to do a test shoot. Bill's like, I've known you for like the last 5 years. I've been going to Gold's Gym. I didn't know you were in this good shape. So I did a test shoot, and all of a sudden, a week later, he calls me. He sends me a cover of this. He's like, you're going to be my poster boy. Here's the cover of your magazine. I want to endorse you. I'm like, no fucking way. How cool. So I was like, I'm going to stay running the gym, and I'll be your endorsed athlete. And then EAS just started growing leaps and bounds, and all my contacts are people like, I just started meeting so many cool people, and Bill would flood me with products, and I'd be like, hey,
And you started through that training celebrities and stuff
Yeah,
as well?
yeah. So I would
Get
just
involved.
go, I'd see like Dwayne and be like, "What are you doing? You're on the road a lot. You should try this Myoplex. It's pretty good."
When The
Sustainable-
Rock did Scorpion King, his very first movie, you were his trainer.
Yeah.
And you were on set with him the whole
Yeah.
time and everything. So
Yep.
you were kind of the original
Well,
guy.
first I had to step down from Golds because that's what happened. This job just kept evolving. I started working with the Broncos because they wanted, so I'm spending all my vacation time at Golds. I'm like, well, I got to run to Denver. I got to do this. And then like guys like Mike Piazzi's like, hey, what the fuck supplement you got? I mean, and we had Betagen, HMB, like really cool cutting edge stuff, and Mark McGuire. So I'm running and I finally had to go to the Golds guys. I'm like, I love this job.
It's
but
at a time where there's nothing else like it either.
Yeah,
that's
it
important
was.
to
I
point
mean,
out.
yeah, the research and development, the
There's nothing
It was
technology.
like
the
it.
beginning, like the dawn of the bodybuilding supplement era.
Yeah.
It was like upon us right then.
Yeah.
It's really like right
90s.
around the time some of the first like protein bars hit the market. And
Absolutely,
kind of
yeah.
all that stuff.
Everything. It was, everything just launched, and EAS was they were just a powerhouse. You know
They
what
were
I
on
mean?
fire.
They were on fire, and everyone wanted to be involved in it. And I took all the
I think it was
celebs that I knew. I took all the
Bill Phillips said $500,000 a day.
Yeah, and it
Something
was
like
Bill
that.
and Sean was involved back
Yeah.
then, and Sean's an awesome guy.
Yeah,
Has,
super great
brilliant-
guys. Even to this day, I
brilliant,
still chat with
brilliant mind, Sean, and both of them.
Yeah,
both
and
Sean
Bill was a marketing genius. So what happened was the job just took off, so I had to step down from Golds. And the cool thing I was telling Mark earlier is that I like those guys so much that they're like, Mike, we always want you to be our brand ambassador. So I'm still to this day the Gold's Gym spokesperson, man.
You're still on the Gold's Gym ads. You do it every
ads,
year,
yeah,
right? You
yeah,
did
I
the
do all
ad
their ad
because didn't you do it
campaigns.
like Lauren, and you've done it with like several different people.
Yeah, every year I do their ad
So it's really
campaigns.
like finds a new chick, and he's like, I got to do it. Shoot a photo
Yeah,
shoot.
I
or
just did
whatever.
a segment for the BBC TV. They had 2 weeks ago. Then last week, this guy was doing one of the airlines, Airways. The guy
Right.
was like,
Yeah.
things to do in California, so we spent a day. So I'm like, all right, go to Venice Beach. Yeah, so I'm
Still doing photo shoots at 50.
I know, it's not fucking crazy.
It's nuts.
I know.
How
What
do you
is wrong with
maintain
you
that? How do you
people?
maintain that at 50? What do you do every day?
I don't know. That's one of the big things that people ask me all the time. I mean, when you train people, you can teach a person to lift a weight so many times. But I find the true training, the true essence is to constantly motivate someone. And what's going to motivate you to be better every fucking day? And that's what I'm going to tap into, and that's what I'm going to find, and that's what we're going to work on. And for me, I use everything. I use visualization. I use going to the Gold's Gym. And I was talking with this Mark earlier about like finding young guys. Like these core group of young guys who think they're fucking, they're the shit.
Right.
I'm going to pop in their circle. I'm going to lift more than them, and I'm going to crush them. I'm going to take their babies. I'm going to eat their lunch.
Yeah, you talk about like taking people's soul basically when
Yeah.
you're training them. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm going to kill this guy.
Yeah.
And
So
you love doing that.
I
That's
totally
like a
do
good,
because there's so many guys like, and it's, for me, it's like probably like I get pissed off because they have 80 billion followers and they don't know what it's like to.
You're like, I'm going to break them.
Yeah, they don't know what it's like to fucking get up at 4 o'clock every day. Fuck them. I will crush them. I'll devour them.
The best thing I've ever seen in the gym, this is one of the best things I've ever seen in the gym, is walk into the back. He does like an hour of cardio every day, wearing like a 40-pound weight vest.
Jesus.
Right? And he's watching this, like, this is a couple years ago. He's got this DVD player, right? And I walk up and I'm like, what is he watching? And I catch him and he's watching his own high school football games on
He's getting
DVD.
embarrassed finally. We finally
Like,
found
it's
something
like
embarrassing.
Al Bundy, right?
It's the best.
And he's like, I was so awesome. It was like all he
That's
could
great.
say.
I was-
He's like, watch this play. Watch it. He rewinds it.
I was
He's like,
amazing.
I just got all these transferred over, right? So then even better, he's got this party at his house, right? And people are like, I hate you, Mike Ryan. Like, you're always winning. You're always a guy
Yeah, the worst.
winning. He goes, okay, I'll show you something where, it'll make you guys feel better. So he puts on this videotape, and it's The Price is Right. And they're like, Mike Ryan, come on down. He goes all the way through the showcase, and he wins a fucking car on his first visit ever to California. And everybody's like,
Fuck you.
right? Like, everybody hates him. It's like even worse. But he's like, I'll make you guys feel better. And everybody just feels worse. And it's like, you always ends up on top somehow.
The one-upper.
Yeah, one-upper. But everybody knows that about you, and they just kind of we've embraced it. Like,
You have to embrace it.
We can't compete.
There's always gonna be that one guy.
You were talking about
It
like
just
kind
happened
of
to be you.
you're talking about like want to crush the other people in the gym and stuff.
Yeah.
You're really feeding off that energy and feeding off
Yeah.
the noise in the gym.
Oh, totally.
It would be hard for you to train by yourself in your garage. Or
Oh
something
yeah,
like
well that's what one of my gigs I moved to India and my training suffered. It was fucking terrible. You know what I mean? No, the gyms are awful. The weights, I mean, there was nothing heavier than like a 50-pound dumbbell.
Yeah.
So it just fucking sucked.
You were also there with a billionaire, but you still said it was hard to really eat good because the food in general, the food supply wasn't very good, right?
And the cow is sacred, so you can't find a steak. You can't really find a cheeseburger.
You got syphilis there, is that right?
And gonorrhea.
Well, tell us about Bangkok. Wasn't there several bars you went to in Bangkok?
That is, if you guys never been to Thailand, go to fucking Thailand. It is the funnest place on earth. I mean,
Just been there.
You been there?
Yeah, but I was sober when I went there, so
you can still have fun.
It was all right.
Yeah.
It was all right. I didn't go crazy. I was.
You should have went with me and my brother.
No.
Would have worked out differently for him.
What is it Juan says about Thailand?
I don't know.
Damn, those trannies were hot.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What's that?
Damn, those trannies were hot.
Yes, they were.
One of the guys in our gym.
Wasn't there like a blowjob bar and a balloon bar?
Anything you can think of goes. You know what I mean? It's just insane. It's just top of line.
You were talking about like motivating people, and that's something that I talk about a lot. Like inspire, don't instruct necessarily. Anyone can teach instruction.
Right. Anyone
can learn to keep your back straight during the deadlift, but to get the guy to the gym in the first place is really the kind of the main thing. How do you motivate some of these people?
Like, for me, I'll sit down and talk to someone, and I'll say, when was the last time you really took a good picture of yourself? I think people are visual.
Right.
So I find, when's the last time you took a picture of yourself and you were fucking happy with the picture? And 9 times out of 10, it's like, oh, this picture sucked. I'm not happy. I'm like, take that picture.
Just a picture, not necessarily with the shirt off.
Right. I said, take that picture, take the most recent picture, and post it where you see it every day. And look at that person and be like, you're either going to be happy that you like that picture or you're going to want to change it.
Right.
And 9% of the people want to change it. And I'm like, I can't change it. You can change it. So you got to find that person inside you to change what you look like.
Right.
And there's also like 2 kinds of people in this world. Like he was supposed to train. He was up to train like Adam Sandler, and he was like, well, he's lazy. Like he doesn't want to do the work. And so he tells him like, here's how much work it's going to be. And then they're like, well, forget it, right? So you don't even get the people that aren't going to put in the work.
Oh, I got a great one.
Right?
The best was Val Kilmer.
You're like, you're a fat fuck.
Totally. I go to Malibu, and he's like smoking weed. He's like, can we go get ice cream? I'm like, Val, I'm here to fucking train. He was like, yeah, but Mike, it's sunny out. We'll take the bikes out. The flavors at this ice cream place is delicious. I'm like, Val, we got to train. He's like, yeah, it's not going to happen today. So I'd be like, all right, so the next day I'm like, hey, Val, I'm going to come up. He's like, yeah, I'm still thinking of that ice cream. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, so you never even get those people. People that you do have, they actually love being pushed.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And they love telling
and that's always the highlight of the job. You know what I mean? When you get animals. Like no one's better to train with than Dwayne.
Yeah.
Like when I first went on the road, I'm like, Dwayne, I'm not going to sit here and fucking count your reps. I said, I want to work out with you.
Right.
And he's like, I seen you train. You're pretty fucking strong. I'm like, good. Let's just go nuts.
You do that with a lot of other clients too.
Yeah.
You train.
Yeah.
Them?
Like Mickey.
When Dwayne first started, he wasn't the ripped guy that we
he
know
was
now.
Soft, doughy.
And we would go to the Firehouse restaurant, and he would order every day pancakes.
Smashing pancakes. He loves donuts.
Pancakes with bananas in it and peanut butter. And back then there was nothing wrong with it because we didn't even know. We're like, we'll just eat and train or whatever.
I just think he figured.
But the first thing he said was like, you got to cut that shit out, and then we got to get you. And then started leaning him out and everything. And that was sort of the beginning of him getting
this whole transformation.
It's un-American to not like pancakes.
We have them, but you can't have them every day.
Well, Dwayne was always just huge. Remember, he just had huge arms and he was always just big. But then he started getting lean.
Body. Yeah, and he started getting ripped and
just
jacked.
looked awesome. Yeah.
It's kind of the worst thing, it's moderation and consistency, right?
Yep.
Like everyone hates that story. How do you stay like this at 51? It's moderation and consistency.
Absolutely.
What I think
Hell
people
of a lot
don't.
of juice.
Hell of a lot of juice.
Tons of it. All of it, right?
That's I live
I think
on.
what people
not really
don't.
any juice, right? Not really.
Well,
any, just
when
a little bit of TRT at one point, and that's about it.
Well, when I came back from what's TRT?
Testosterone.
When I came back
for a while, and then that's it.
When I lived in India in 2012, I ended up catching hepatitis because I love India, I love the Indian people, but it's fucking dirty. You know what I mean? So my liver shut down. It was just your liver becomes infected from ingesting the worst, but ingesting so much fecal matter because no one really washes their hands. So I was like Homer Simpson. I'm pitch yellow.
Eating shit.
Eating shit. A lot of poop.
What are you doing eating shit?
I know. Yeah. I hate to say in the culture, a lot of they don't actually use toilet paper. So they wash their hands, and next thing you know, they're handling food. It's just like, oh, it's fucking, yeah. It's brutal.
I'm confused. They don't use toilet paper?
Yes.
They just don't wipe, so it's all like in their.
No, they use their left hand to dig it out, and then they go wash their hands. That's why you never shake someone's hand with their left hand. It's insulting.
It's that poop hand.
It's the poop hand. Yeah. You're like,
Get your,
get
your fucking dirty poop fingers away from me.
Get your goddamn.
Hold on, I gotta scoop it out.
I guess if your hand is naturally dark, maybe that's not so bad.
Well, and you got to realize, I mean, the country has over 1 billion people, and a lot of them are just villagers. So
And that'd be way too much toilet paper, right?
Yeah.
Those people are shitting themselves, I'm telling you.
No, I mean, people just shit on the street
Well,
there. It's
Indian
insane.
food makes you shit
Yeah,
anyway.
he comes out anyway.
I don't think I could do any kind of a good job with my left hand. Right there. I just don't. I think it would be a mess all the time.
Yeah, it's a skill.
Start trying it. Super
Yeah,
try it. Let's see how it
exactly.
goes.
It's a skill.
We'll just take all the
Yeah.
toilet paper.
Can
out
we
of it.
afford to get them those special toilet lids? Spray their buttholes?
I know.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
Well,
start
they do have
Kickstarter.
hoses.
Indiegogo.
I mean, they do have hoses right next to the.
Ah,
Yeah.
Okay.
hose in different area codes.
Yeah, so I ended up getting sick there, and I came back, and I was just fucking. He was the one that told me about it. I was down almost 30 pounds. I had no
What?
confidence. Yeah, and he was just like, "Why don't you do testosterone?" For me, I was just like,
Hey, never wanted to do it. He was
I made a career. I'm like thinking, oh, it's a fucking steroid. I'm not going to do it. And he's like, don't be an idiot. It's not a steroid.
Although his brother did tell me, I was like, come on, you've never taken anything.
yeah.
And his brother's like, he's like, he's had his bouts.
Yeah, that was
that's
my-
what he said. And I'm
That's
like,
the best.
what's that supposed to mean? He goes, I don't know.
There was
That's his
always so
brother.
much controversy
That's his
on who was
brother.
on shit and who
Razzing
wasn't
him.
at the
Yeah,
gym all the
That's
time.
all we used to talk about. Is he on? Is he on? And then you realize, like, later on, you're like, I don't even care. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. My girlfriends, the guys would always come up to him, and between Monica and Kim, the girls that I live with, you know, they'd be like, Mike on juice? They'd be like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Mike
Well,
on juice?
His other girlfriend was Big Papa Pump's manager. Remember Kim Canner, right? She was
Yeah.
She was Scott Steiner's
Yeah.
manager on
And so for
WCW
years,
for a
people
while.
would just stop her. Hey, what's Mike on? Because that's when the whole EIS.
And she
they
was
put-
EAS too, right?
Yeah.
That's how you met her? Right?
Yeah. No, well, I
EAS.
met her in the gym.
Okay.
That was another funny story.
And
but-
you were engaged for a while, right?
Yeah, almost, yeah.
But now you've been single for a pretty long time, right?
Yes, for life.
And you've been having fun doing that. You like that?
Life is good. I have no complaints.
Riding out that single lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah, he's been doing that for like the past 12, 15 years.
Yeah, like the last serious girlfriend. God damn.
What about boyfriend? Serious boyfriend? You and all
Well,
All his boyfriends are serious.
I'm serious. Look, I'm very serious about my boyfriends.
Yeah, okay.
I got a question for the two of yous. The two of yous. You have education. And you guys also have a structure. You have substance to the things that you've done. And nowadays, people get there faster with Instagram and forms of social media, YouTube, and so on. What do you kind of think about that? What do you think about these people that maybe not only are they getting there faster, but they also don't have that substance behind them?
Well, life is a trial and tribulations and experiences. And for me, it was always hard work. My hard work brought me to where I am, and it's a result of hard work. Like when I came out here, I had to get discovered. I had to go to Joe Weider's office. Like I said, I had to take my shirt off in front of all these guys. How do you look? Take your shirt off.
That sounds gay, by the way. I'm not
It's
judging.
Super
I'm just
gay,
saying.
but it's super gay. But
Take
back
your
then, you
shirt
know what I
off
mean.
and all this
There
guy.
wasn't no. I mean,
Yeah.
there was no. You couldn't send a picture.
Right.
You know what I mean. To take a picture, you had to wait for it to get developed. So these guys wanted to see
Yeah.
you. It's like you gotta fucking come to my office. You gotta show me what you look like, and I'm gonna evaluate right there. But now these guys, I mean, they take a picture, they filter it, they Photoshop it. Everyone has the ideal, beautiful physique. You know what I mean? And the worst part is when you see a lot of these people in real life, you'd be like,
They also don't. They also don't really need to go anywhere.
No, they don't.
because they can do it right from
Yeah.
their phones. I don't
Yeah.
have to travel anywhere or like.
Yeah.
You know, I went to a lot of seminars. There was many years where I had no money to do any of it, but I figured out a way to get there because I knew it would be
yeah,
important.
right.
You know, the thing is, like, I realized over the years and everything that I've been through, drug addiction and all that, and he was there through all. He saw me, I was a mess, you know, through all the ups and downs and everything else. The only thing that matters is me and what I'm working on,
Right.
and what I'm doing and who I can help. And if what I can do can change the world and help people, then, like, that's all that really matters. Like, all this other bullshit about, like,
Yeah,
that
who's
guy
doing
got
what?
there faster, or
Yeah.
screw this guy because, you know, he didn't work as hard as me, or it doesn't matter. What it all boils down to is, like, what I'm doing. If I stay in my own lane and I focus on myself, there's no way that I cannot be happy and fulfilled. You know, if I'm fulfilling, you know, what I want to do and what's in my heart, and I'm following my heart, all my heart says is go help people.
But you
Yeah,
don't
go-
think it
go-
matters if people are maybe putting out misinformation because they're not educated
Who
enough.
cares?
I care.
Let
Care because I'm in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I see. We talked about this.
You're
with
so
all the
fat,
information, I'm fucking so bad. With all the information, there's so much misinformation, and a lot of people offer guidance that really shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's up to the person. Sadly enough, it's up to the person, fan, or follower to decipher what is good and what isn't good. You
Well,
know?
that's why I say if I just say this is what the facts say, right?
Yeah.
Like that's all my work says is like this is what the facts say. I don't really care, I have an opinion either way. That's what personally I care about. But yeah, like if people are giving false information, what I do is I report on that. I think that's part of what I do is like I call people out all the time on
We love doing
this
that.
is that.
Both
oh,
of you.
I mean that's kind of
I've been calling people out.
well, that's a big thing with us is calling people.
Yeah.
I think both of us do that all the time, and that's not to say that I'm not staying in my own lane. It's like that's in my work. I'm just talking about like in my own life. I try not to get jealous of people because I feel like that's toxic.
Both of you sly motherfuckers are involved with girls that are millennials, so that's your relationship to the millennial
What?
era, right? Right? Right?
Am I?
How old is she? How old's Lauren?
31.
Oh, she is. But that's kind of
know,
maybe
is that
that's not in
millennial?
that
I don't
category.
know.
I don't know. Anyway,
She likes Nirvana and Pearl Jam stuff. I mean, she's old enough, right?
Well, that's
she's
all I
old.
need to know.
She's old enough.
she's an old spirit.
Old soul.
But you just see things are moving fast, and
well, in my environment, it's a young person's game. I mean, there's no really
Right.
40 to 50-year-old active trainers out there that lead by example.
Yeah.
There's a handful of guys. I mean,
You and Gunner. We just interviewed Gunner
Gunner.
yesterday.
that guy's
Yeah,
a
but-
stud.
Yeah, he's amazing.
O'Hearn.
Yeah, O'Hearn's amazing.
Clark
yeah.
Bartram, Specimen. You know what I mean? There's a handful
Clark
of guys.
Bartram, another guy, shredded.
Yeah, there's
specimen.
a handful
Yeah,
of guys
he's
out
shredded,
there.
huh?
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, we're not in this generation when we take pictures and we Photoshop and we put it out there. It's always we have to lead by example. And 9 times out of 10, people think it's bullshit. He didn't do that. He didn't do that.
Right.
Until you have to okay, here's me fucking curling 100-pound dumbbells, you cocksucker.
Yeah. Yeah, you do that. 100-pound dumbbell curls, this guy. It's
And
weird.
the thing about it is, if you're calling people out on stuff, and that's part of your nature to do that,
Yeah.
it's just you do it naturally. It's
Just as a justification, not to be a dick.
right.
You know?
It's an entirely different experience than what happens on Instagram and YouTube. And,
Yeah.
and
Well, sure,
where people call people out just for the notoriety they
I
get.
don't feel
out
the
of
need
it.
to call people out on Instagram. I'll
Yeah,
call them
I
out
don't-
in a movie. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
way worse. I mean, that's millions of people see that, not just 100.
Right. Have you ever stolen a piece of The Rock's clothing after a workout to sell
I had
it
his
online?
trunks for years. You know that?
I figured.
Yeah, I really did. 'cause
you're-
I was-
And he used
Pervert,
to, he used to
dirty
put them in the
bastard.
microwave and heat them up so reinvigorate that smell.
no, I used to
Sniff
wear them to
them?
bed.
You smell what the rock is cooking.
I go to bed, I'd be like, finally, the great one's going to bed. No, I actually saw his trunks one day, and he's like, man, I can't find my fucking trunks. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what happened, man. I stole his trunks. He's fucking hilarious. This is my quick funny rock story. When he was popular, I was going through the roof. Rolling Stone was traveling with us, and they're like, we're going to train. So the author, he's like, well, what's DJ's big mix? What's the Rock train to? He's like, oh, brother, I got this fucking CD. This is when CDs are on. I got the CD with 10 songs that I can lift the world. It's the great. And the guys, the Rolling Stone guys, oh my God, this is great. We got to hear what the Rock trains to.
Yeah.
So he's like, you got to give me the CD. So I'm like, I'll put it in. For some reason, I had this stupid CD of a guy taking a shit. He just sitting there. He's like, you hear him like, and you hear like the shit hitting the water, and then just peeing, and he's like, oh no, and he gets the
Only
runs.
you would have that fucking
Yeah, it was
CD.
this rotten CD of a guy just having. He gets the runs, and it's like shit's flying everywhere. The water's splashing.
Was that your CD?
Yeah, it was mine.
So he's like, so the guy from Rolling Stone was like, oh, let me hear the Rock's jams. So he put in the CD, and all of a sudden you hear the guy like, and the fucking Dwayne's like, what the fuck is this? And the guy from Rolling Stone is fucking cracking up. He's like, Dwayne, this is the best CD I ever heard.
We've had some funny times. Remember, you told him a story that I think you need to recount on this podcast at the firehouse that made him throw his fork and his knife over his shoulder. Do you remember that story about
Probably
the
not.
canary?
Oh God, yeah.
What is that? What is that exact story?
These are old vintage
Because there
Gold
was
Gym
some
stories.
really
I know about the
crazy
canary.
perverts at
Tell me
Gold's
about the
Gym.
canary.
Well, back in the day, I mean, this 70s. I mean, bodybuilders were unemployable. Are we still talking to you?
Yeah, keep going.
Keep going. All right, yeah.
All right,
so,
keep going, or what do you want to do?
I'm good. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep rolling.
oh boy,
Pee break.
pee break.
Too much coffee.
Yeah. I think we should wait because you'd like the story.
Yeah, you'll like the story.
All right, we'll pause.
Actually, we'll just take a sponsor break right here.
Just a second to talk about our sponsor, bodybuilding.com. Everyone's always asking how to become stronger in the gym, and truthfully, it's a handful of factors. Training, nutrition, along with rest and recovery are key elements to bigger lifts and a longer career in the gym, don't you think?
Bodybuilding.com, they did an awesome feature on two-time CrossFit Games champ Matt Fraser. You get a chance to see any of that?
I have not seen that yet.
Oh, it's really good. I think it might have been, they expanded it out to like maybe 8 or 9 parts going all the way into the CrossFit Games. But
wow.
Just really cool to see his mindset. But, I mean, bodybuilding.com, they always do a great job of showing you bodybuilding, CrossFit, powerlifting, all the different facets of strength, including strongman and also Olympic weightlifting.
Now, he's a bodybuilding.com athlete?
I'm not sure.
Or
I
they
know that
just
he's with our friends over at NF Sports, and he's somebody they featured on their site recently, and they've had great response from it.
Awesome. Head over to bodybuilding.com and get free articles on training plans, protein-packed food recipes, and guides on the best forms of recovery. While you're at bodybuilding.com, snag your favorite protein, pre-workout, and aminos. Be sure to follow at bodybuilding.com for discounts and sales on Instagram. So head over to bodybuilding.com to be your best self.
Those guys are even smart enough to sell slingshots.
There you go.
Look at that.
And we're back.
All right, I'm back from my pee break. I
gotta
got
pee.
fart every time I pee,
yeah.
but I don't pee every time I fart.
So Chris
Everybody know.
brought up a story about one of Dwayne's biggest crack ups. So Dwayne, whenever it comes to goals, they're all fascinated. Like, what's goals like? Can you tell me? So when I first took over, all the old bodybuilders would hang out, and they were just like, it's not like the old days. I'm like, yeah, what would you guys do for money? It's like, you don't want to know.
They'd all fuck the shit out of each other.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no.
In the posing room.
It wasn't even a posing room back then. But he told me the story. He'd be like, one day this guy calls the gym. He's like, Gold's Gym. They're like, I need help. Can someone please come quick? They're like, what's wrong? He's like, my bird's out. I just need someone to catch it real quick. I'm like, where do you live? He's like, I'm across the street. I'll give you $50. The guy's, fuck, $50. In the 70s, that's like $500, you know?
Yeah.
So the guy walks over, and there's like this parakeet flying around. And he's like, catch it. So the guy just goes, and then parakeet leans on his fingers. He's like, what's wrong with that? And the guy's in, well, I have to cut to it. The guy's in a wife beater and tighty whities. And he's like, kill it. And the guy's like, what? He's like, kill it. He was like, what do you mean? He's like, and he looks down, the guy's getting a boner. He's like, just kill it. I'll double it. I'll triple it. And the guy's like, and he's like, sorry. Slam. The parakeet just gets splat, and the guy's like, 100, 200, 300.
Jesus Christ.
It was so sick and disturbing. This guy would fucking crush parakeet, but they got sick of it, so they had to actually report this guy to all the pet shops. Like, don't let this guy fucking buy any more parakeets. Because he would show up, that one got away, and be like...
But it was like every day there was a different person calling the gym, be like, is there a muscle man there?
Oh,
And
yeah.
like, there was a muscle man, and there was like
there was another
all
guy.
these different things that would happen.
Yeah.
Just remember Dudley?
Oh, sure.
This guy would come in on a walker, and he was
You're
so like
looking-
unassuming, and he'd be like, "Hey, Chris,
You're looking great
good today, right? Looking good."
Hey, who was the guy that you said?
old? But what was great was he was so old.
Pervert.
And he was unassuming, but then I talked to this girl who was like, I wrestled that guy. He kicked the shit out of me. Because he paid to wrestle her, and then she beat him up.
Oh, yeah. Chemical Pink, which was...
he beat her up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a book called Chemical Pink, which is all about the woman's bodybuilding and the underseed. The
amazing
seed,
book, that
crazy.
book, yeah.
Yeah, so these old timers, they had to do... they were just crack up. People call Gold's Gym and be like, one guy would call the gym every day, fuck you faggot bodybuilders, you know? They would crack up. Hello, Gold's Gym.
That was us.
Yeah, he was like,
Calling all the times.
you're a fucking pussy. I'll fucking kill you guys. Hang up. So one day he's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. The guy goes, where the fuck are you? He's like, 1318 Navy. They're like, fucking let's go. They all pile in the car. They go to their address, and they just knock on the door. The guy's like behind the curtain. He's like, fuck you, you pussies. they're like,
Yeah, but they
no.
wanted him to come.
Yeah, they're like, no way, this guy actually exists. So like, open the door. They're like, fuck you, you'll never get me. So they're like, these guys are crazy, you know. They're fucking, I wouldn't give their names, but they just kick the door in. And the guy's like, they're looking around, and all of a sudden they're like, there's nowhere to be found. So they just fucking start flipping shit over. They whip him in the closet. Another guy, typical, in his undies, like.
Just being weird.
Yeah, he's like, I don't give a shit how much you beat me. I won't tell you where the $500 is. And they're like, what? You heard me, you pussy. I don't care how much you slap me. So the guy went like, It's under the lamp. So they fucking knock over a lamp and there's $500 bills. And the guy be like, I'll see you tomorrow. So every day our bodybuilder would go to this guy's house, slap him around and get like $500, and this is how these guys would pay their rent.
And you guys want to be a bodybuilder.
Oh my god.
That was the insane times.
Well, that's actually sort of on the gay for pay scale. That's pretty straight.
Yeah. Actually, that was
It's about as straight as you can get.
That was slap for pay.
Yeah, actually, it wasn't really gay, right? It's not gay if you're not.
Yeah. No, don't look him in the eyes either. That's
Okay.
Were you in the middle of a rock story, I think, before we switched this?
No, that was the parakeet.
yeah. Oh, parakeet.
Yeah, well,
Dwayne just couldn't believe it. You fucking whipped his knife and fork in there.
Oh, that's when he threw the fork over his head.
He fucking laughed so hard. And for weeks. He'd be like,
He couldn't get
There's
past
always like funny stuff that happened with him though, because there was one time a really hot chick came into the firehouse and we were sitting there and she's like, "Can I take a picture with you?" And they take a picture. This really hot chick, the boyfriend takes the picture. She's like, "Thank you so much, Vin." And
That's great.
he's like, and especially now that they got beef, you know. But this was like
years ago.
years before that. He's like, did she just? Yep, she just called you Vin.
Yeah.
She just called you Vin.
Speaking of that, I have a go on. I gotta find something.
Dwayne's a funny guy.
Well,
to travel.
he takes it all in stride all the time.
Oh,
like,
totally.
One guy that had nothing working at the supplement store. He's like, "All right, buddy," and gives Rock a pound. He goes, "You hang in there, bro." We walk out and the Rock was like,
great.
"Did he tell me to hang?" That guy.
Yeah, remember he was
Tell me to hang in
complaining.
there?
Remember too, he was complaining to us at one time about people lumping themselves in with him.
Yeah,
And
or,
people like other bodybuilder type guys in the gym that want to
Paving
be
the way. You paved the way for me.
Oh, yeah,
like want to be actors and they're never gonna make it. And they're like, "Hey man, I really appreciate you paving the way for guys like me." And he's like, "We're not like this.
Who are you?
We're not a thing, okay? Fucking drop
There's
it."
there's levels to this shit, buddy. There's levels to this shit.
You're gonna love this one. This is a Vin Diesel quote from like this week. "I'm always rooting for Dwayne." He said, "I'm the first multicultural megastar in Hollywood. They didn't exist. To see another multicultural star come up is something I'm very proud of."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of a shot.
Yeah.
Weird.
I'm the first one. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's
I think
before him.
there were some before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Weird.
Poor boy. He's got to worry about his fucking abs and, he's a
Right.
fat fuck.
Well, if you look at it, the two of them, like Vin has gotten softer,
Oh, totally.
and
Yeah.
Rock's
Yeah.
gotten harder over time. Like
Hey now.
Hey.
it's rock hard.
You still have those trunks? I mean, where are those trunks?
I still have him.
Is that under your pillow?
That's my
They're under his shorts.
It's my pillowcase. It's my pillowcase.
What did you teach Arnold?
Oh yeah, so yeah, Golds is so happening now that Arnold's back in the gym. It's so funny, and I learned this from one of the guys the other day. So he's been coming to the gym early, like 7.
Yeah, 7 every day.
Yeah, and so it's one morning he's half asleep. So I'm like, I'm gonna fuck with him. So he's trying to walk by. So I stand this way. So he cuts to the left. I cut this way. So he looks at me. I go, "Hey, don't try to get by. You'll be trapped and dealt with."
Right.
And he just went, "That is fantastic." He's like,
Favorite thing.
yeah. He had spiked his head. He's like, no, again. What is it? I go, all right. I'm like, "Don't try to get by. You be trapped and down." He's like, "Ah." And then so an old guy tries to walk by. He's like, hey. Don't buy the truck. No, fuck, do it. Okay, go ahead. No. He's like, come on. So we're walking by the gym. So he'd stand in front of some people waiting to be like, "Hey, don't try to get by.
He's trying to
You'll
get
be
everybody-
dealt and I'll trap."
No. But you didn't add in the last part.
No. Well, it keeps going. It keeps going. Yeah, I mean, so finally he learned it. So every day he'd come in, and he'd be like, "Hey, don't try to get by." He's like, "There's got to be more." I'm like, "All right."
There's got to be more.
And so I like, he tries to walk by. I'm like, "Hey, don't try to get by. You'll be trapped and dealt with." And that's the absolute truth. He's
I'll be
like,
back.
he's
I'll be back.
No, that was the following week. You know what I mean? He's like,
Oh, yeah.
he's like, "Brilliant." You know what I mean? So
He is literally coming in the gym.
oh
Like
yeah,
you said.
totally. So every day, then we go, "Don't try to get by. You'll be trapped and dealt with. That's the absolute truth. And don't make me come back."
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah. So then the other day there, he's like, so we went that. Then last week he's like, "Well, what else?" I said, "Don't try to get by. Be trapped and dealt with. That's the truth. Don't make me come back. but if I have to, I'll be looking for you. He goes, this is unbelievable. It's so fantastic. It's
Adding the
unbelievable.
quads or something, the hammies.
Everything. He's like, every day he tries to add a body part. He fucking loves it. You know what I mean?
What's that going to be on his Instagram?
I know. Yeah, no. He wants to do it, but he's like, we have to make it perfect.
Yeah,
It's got to be
yeah,
perfect.
Got to keep
Tell 'em.
rehearsing.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
they're
no.
like, hey, they remember the guy that bigger, stronger, faster? You've seen it, right? You know that guy. He
And
made it up.
the funny thing about Arnold, he's just like a little kid, and he's never heard the bodybuilding lingo.
He's so funny.
So the other day,
He's always so cool in the gym. He's so nice to everybody.
So
He
the
says-
day he's like,
takes
what are you?
pictures.
He's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm training with the Hammer Brothers. And he's like, oh, I go to the Hammer Brothers. He's like, who are the Hammer? I'm like, you don't know the fucking Hammer Brothers? He's like, no. I'm like, Jackhammer and Sledgehammer. He's like, oh, that is so brilliant.
You're killing him with all this.
Yeah, everything. Then with his training partner, Dita walks in. I'm like, hey, Dita. I'm like, the muscle softeners are kicking. And he's like, muscle softeners. I got to remember that one. That is awesome.
Well, remember Joe Weider, or not Joe Weider, Joe Gold he had a nickname for Arnold, and it was Balloon Belly.
Really?
And it would make Arnold so mad. So, like, Joe Gold was just known for getting under people's skins. So, like, when we worked for Mass Movement, me and John Cena went to, they're like, you got to go to World Gym and drop off these benches, right? And Cena never used to go anywhere. But they said, you're dropping him off to Joe Gold. So Cena's like, I'm coming with you, bro. Yeah. Like, I'm coming with you. So we walk in, and Joe Gold says to Cena, hey, Chubbs, you can just put it over there. He called me Fat Boy, and he called Cena Chubbs. And Cena was shredded. He was doing like a bodybuilder show.
He's just so mad.
And he would call Arnold Balloon Belly. And the whole reason was, like, the fatter that he called you, and Joe Gold was fat and in a wheelchair. He couldn't even walk.
Yeah.
But the more, like, that he would get under
Insult you.
people's skin, the harder they would train. But like Arnold was Balloon Belly. Arnold's like, it's not even a good nickname. Like, it doesn't even have a ring to it, kind of thing.
That's great.
Oh, my God.
Like, that's how Joe Gold would motivate people back in the day. God rest his soul. The fearless founder of the
I
Mecca.
know, without a doubt.
That's great.
Still got his equipment in there.
Yeah, he used to make his own shit.
The Merchant Marine.
You have a poop story for us, by any chance?
God.
All the travel, all the different things. There's got to be some rotten stomach stories. There's poop in your
Too
pants
many
during training
protein
people.
shakes.
Is that like par? Everyone has to do a poop story.
It's always
Yeah.
it's always like.
All right, I got a good poop story. This is
we
when I
go.
was playing football.
There we go.
Yeah, this is I'm playing football.
Everybody always thinks they don't have one. Everyone's like, I got a poop story, bro.
I think we're down in Virginia, playing Virginia. It's so fucking hot. My quarterback throws me this lollipop pass. I reach up, and this guy fucking drills me right in the gut. I'm like, oh fuck, and I go, oh no. So I'm in the huddle. I'm like, oh fuck. So I'm like,
Feels a little squishy.
and we had white pants. So I'm like, oh fuck. So I stick my hand down my pants. I fucking grind it out. I pulled an Indian move. So I grind it. I'm like, oh my god, he fucking hit me so hard I shit my pants. So I'm like, oh fuck. So we're in the huddle, and I'm just like, I look at the center. And I'm just like, I just go like this. I'm like, keep up the good play. Keep up the good play. So I'm wiping my shit all over my center's uniform. And my quarterback's just like, what the fuck you doing? I'm nothing. So he goes under the center. He's like, Blue. He's like, fucking wipe shit on him. I'm like, no, I didn't. He's trying to make a play. There's shit on the center. The quarterback's smelling it because he's bending down. He's like, timeout. Fucking coach comes on. He's like, what the fuck's going on? He's like, fucking Ryan shit himself. He's already shit all over people in the huddle. Coach is like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You go fucking wash your hands and stop shitting your pants. How old are you?
Should have taken one for the team. That's what that's called.
I was just fucking cracking up. I go to the sidelines, and the guys were watching, and like, one of the guys like, were you wiping shit on fucking the center? I'm like, yeah, you fucking. I'm like, that guy hit me so hard, it just fucking splattered me out. You know?
Had you finished the game with poop in your pants or what?
No, it was like halftime. I had to go change my drawers. Totally, but it was fucking hilarious. The quarterback, and we never told the lineman, he would have crushed me. But the quarterback's, what the fuck is wrong with you? He goes, I have to go down there. I have to fucking. Why don't you wipe it on someone else? I'm like, he was right there, right in front of me. Yeah, so that's my shit story.
disgusting.
I got popped and I fucking shit my pants and I wiped it on my fellow teammate.
You met a lot of awesome people over the years. What's something that you've learned? You know, you're training, you're coaching, you're giving these people information. What's something you learned from some of the people that you train?
Always be humble. That's, you know what I mean? It's because life is cyclical. There's one time, you guys know, I was fucking at 2 houses on the beach. I was on top of the world, and a day later I was fired with no money, you know. So you always got to be humble because shit comes back. And the people that you work with.
Fired from Golds or fired from EAS?
EAS, when EAS sold. You know what I mean? Like no one was protected.
You go from making like a couple $100,000 making nothing.
Yeah.
It's like boom.
Yeah, that big house on the beach, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, I got pink slip.
Yeah, you had a 5-story house. At
Yeah,
one point, right?
yeah. So I'm fired. Sean's fired. Bill's mom, Bill's dad were all fired, and it was like Black Friday. And they flew me out to fire me, and then they had a police escort me off the property. I'm like, wow, fucking cocksucker.
Yeah, right down here, you lived in like a 5-story high house. It was crazy.
If you could do something a little different, I know like you probably don't want to really go back and change anything because then you wouldn't be here in the position you're in now. But if you could have maybe prepped for something like that, like what's something that you maybe think you would maybe do differently?
Well, that taught me humility, because I was young, making a ton of dough, and I thought it'd be endless, you know. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna fucking, you know, let's go to Hawaii, and first class tickets for me, and we're staying at the fucking.
Maybe just be a little smarter.
Yeah, that's what I always respect about him is no matter how fast he's moving with his company, he's always kind of very careful and moving slow enough.
Well, who wants to travel with him though? I mean, what the fuck's he gonna do with him?
I gotta pay these guys to do it,
and they don't even like you.
Oh, I hate it.
But no matter how fast it's moving, it's still like very measured. You know,
worst days of their life.
Yeah, because like, you're older now and you're
conservative.
Wiser. You know what I mean? This is we're all in our 30s making a ton of dough, so we're just.
But like he could go crazy if he wanted to, but he doesn't. He's just like, okay, I gotta still do this.
He's smart, but that's him though. That's how his training is. Everything's coordinated.
That's how I try to learn from him now, because I'm like, I screwed up these things.
We used to travel to meets though, and there'd be like 5 of us in a hotel room.
Yeah.
Well, if he's got $500, he's going to spend 1,000 of it.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Way to go.
But everyone's different though. You know, it doesn't matter. It's like you got to figure out what's gonna, what's working for you, and you know how you're gonna just deal with everyday life. It's such a pain in the ass. How do you stay motivated?
Like I said, I use visualization. I use younger guys, and it's an innate ability.
Excuse me?
I use younger guys for motivation.
I use younger guys.
We get to the heart of it.
There we go. All right.
We use younger guys too, but we'd like to know how to use it. It sounds like you have more access.
Yes. No, I use these younger guys.
How young?
All right.
And where's your network?
Is there a school around here? We have to stop filming. I'm too close to school grounds.
The
restraining orders everywhere. I use young gentlemen. No, I'm a, you know what I mean? I like to have, not confrontations, but I like to see what you're doing. I'm going to try and match you or beat you. You know what I mean? That's how it is. I you know, all battles are won on the field. I'm not one of these guys who's going to, you know.
He kills people too. Like when I was fat.
Oh, he talks so much shit.
When I was fat, he'd be like, I would come into the gym. He's like, "You're getting huge," and you weren't sure. You like what an asshole. Like, because you know that it's not in a good way. You know that it's never like really.
You might as well tell my best line to that girl.
Which one?
What is it? The magazine.
Oh, I've seen you on the cover. He's like, I'm on the cover of magazines. What cover have you been on? Fat Times.
But you're doing
Fat Times. That sounds like a great magazine.
We were hammered too. Right?
Well, this girl started with us.
She started with yeah. She's like, oh, you think you're so cool because you were on the cover of a magazine.
You know, I'm like,
I've been on the cover of Fat Times.
That's awesome.
You love that story.
You had to tell her off. Yeah, I mean, she deserved
Fat
it.
Times.
Fat.
She deserved it though.
She did deserve it. I still have that issue of Fat Times. You were the centerfold.
What's just lay it out? What was the coolest thing that you've done? You think?
Here's my bucket list of cool things. Well, one of the top one is, for years there was a presidential detail of Secret Service. One of the guys was from Peabody, and they would travel with Bush, Clinton. You know, mostly Clinton when he would come out here, and they'd be like, "Hey, you want to meet President Clinton?" I'm like, I really wasn't keen to meeting him. I'm like, I didn't follow his philosophies. I mean, he was a good president, but he just wasn't my guy. I go, it'd be cool to meet, you know, President Reagan. They're like, we can arrange that. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, you know? So, yeah. So they're like, you got to come on up. So his office was the Nakatomi building from Die Hard.
No way.
He had the top floor. And even Tom File went. So we all went up.
I was going to say, Tom File said he has a picture with Reagan.
Yeah.
They let Tom File meet Ronald Reagan.
That would have been World War III.
Yeah, that sounds really bad.
No, but we went up there, and it was you walk in, there was security guards. We all knew them because they were training in the gym all the time. So we walk in, and you sit down, and all of a sudden, fucking President Reagan comes out, and he's like, well, nice to meet you boys, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, you're the guys keeping my guys in shape. I'm like, wow, this is fucking cool. And his office was just relic after memorabilia of everything. It's like, there's a piece of the Great Wall, there's a piece of this.
I've heard from like a lot of people that like when you meet the president, it's like a experience like that no matter what or who's the president. Like even if you met Trump right now, it's like, I just met the president. It's like a big deal no matter what.
And of course,
for everybody that does it.
And of course, you know what I mean? Anyone grew up in the 80s. I mean, Ronald Reagan was the most powerful man in the world.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
But I
he
hear
brought
people-
Russia to his knees. I mean, back then there was always radical terrorists.
Yeah.
And what he did, Gaddafi tried to do something. He launched a missile in his palace,
Yeah.
and there was never any terrorism under his watch, because they fear and respect power. And Reagan was a fucking bulldog, you know. And to meet this guy, I was like, this is the coolest fucking moment of my life. And he was sitting there. We took pictures. He told us stories, and it was really neat. Then he had a pen, and he was signing stuff for me. He's like, you want my pen? I'm like, no fucking way, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you say that? I was like, oh, wow, I'm honored, sir, thank you. So he gave me his pen. Of course, I go back to the gym. I'm like, guys, ever see a presidential pen?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I'm going to pass it around. All of a sudden, 2 minutes later,
Ends
I'm
up on
like,
the internet.
no, 2 minutes later, I'm like, where's my pen? Someone fucking stole my fucking pen from President Reagan. I'm like, typical
Within
Gold's-
2 minutes.
You're like the
typical-
fat guy from The Office talking about your pen.
Yeah, typical Gold's Gym deadbeats, you know what I mean?
Office Space.
Yeah, Milton.
Milton, yeah.
I'm a still pillar.
What's something you learned in the last couple of years about business? You know, you talked about managing money a
Oh, I
little
know,
bit.
yeah,
You
totally.
used to manage Gold's Gym. And
Yeah.
what are some things you've learned personally?
The number one thing is you got to be smart with your money. You know, like you said,
Yeah.
you know, when you guys travel, it's like, fuck it, we don't have a lot of money. Let's go 5 guys in a room. Be smart with your money, because
Right.
it comes and goes. Everything, I think that's indicative of life. Everything comes and goes, and you just
Right.
got to be smart with it. I mean, injuries come and go, training comes and goes, money comes and goes, relationships come and go. So yeah, you just got to be smart, make good decisions when you can.
What's a
Especially-
way that people can make fitness a little easier? You know, there's a lot of information out there about this particular diet. There's a lot of information about how to lose weight. America doesn't really have necessarily a weight loss problem. They have a problem keeping it off,
Yeah.
because it's trendy to hop on these diets and to be on a diet or a plan for 12 weeks, and then they flip and they're not.
Yeah.
How do we kind of block out some of the noise and concentrate on what's important?
Well, I think there has to be a big shift and get rid of fucking diets. It has to be a lifestyle. Everything has to be toward goals toward your lifestyle. You know, everyone's, because the problem with this country, it's a capitalist society, so people can make money selling diets, selling fads, selling trends, and that's what they do. And the youth they're fucking lost. You know what I mean? They're
Right.
shoved with fast food in their face. No one knows how to train. They just know fad after fad after fad. There's no lifestyle expert or lifestyle coach saying, hey, you want to be an athlete? This is how you have to be an athlete. Hey, if you just want to hang out, play video games, and be a little active, this is what you have to do for that. If you just want to read and play an instrument, this is what you should do for that. There's no one that looks toward that anything. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And they don't teach you at school. They don't teach you
No, fuck
nutrition.
no.
They don't even teach nutrition in medical
well,
school.
Well, the problem is,
I find that mind-boggling. It's crazy.
what's that?
They don't teach nutrition in medical
Oh,
school.
I know, it's insane. Well, that's why doctors is a practice.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't call it a fucking a practice.
It's not a thing.
It's,
They're practicing.
it's a
Practicing.
fucking practice. You know, every day they're still in.
Practice?
Yeah, practice.
Talking about practice?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So there's no expert or no fields or no information for anyone to go to, and that's because I'm sure 10, 20 years from now, there'll be more authoritative figures on everything. But
Right.
because right now the internet is still in its infant stage. Social
Yeah.
media is still in its infant stage. I mean, when I was your age or whatever, there was
Nothing.
nothing. You know what I mean? Fuck, we had to use a rotary phone. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
it all
technology-
happened very quickly.
Oh,
Like, from the
ridiculous.
invention of the cell phone until
Yeah.
everything that we have now
things
has been
move fast.
very, very quick. Yeah.
The speed of light. You know, so that's why everything's in the infant stage, and they're like, your kids will look back and be like, "Oh, that's so funny. We had to do
We
this."
used to tweet. Yeah, it's like it'd be
How
so
do you,
stupid.
how do you
right?
train, Mike?
I'm still old school. You know what I mean? I apply just. I'm old fashioned, and I'm a fucking dinosaur. I want to train one
you-
body part a day and
Do you
crush it.
kind of like flat out bodybuild, or do you bodybuild / train for performance? Like, you know, you had the football background and stuff.
Yeah,
Do you
I hate
still
to say
move around a bunch or
Yeah.
just bodybuild.
I hate to say it, but my running takes a beating. You know, I used to try and do. I was like, Chris will test it. I was like, if I'm gonna go out and drink a case of beer, I'm gonna do 2 hours of cardio, and I'm gonna fucking run 8 miles.
You're gonna
I'm doing-
earn it.
Yeah. So, but now my running, it catches up to you.
You do an hour of cardio every day?
It's dropped to about 45.
Okay, so 45 minutes on a step mill usually.
But
with
I
a-
switch it up. It's all variety.
So sometimes with a weight vest, sometimes without.
Yeah, and then I do road work. I still
Sometimes on
run.
the beach.
Yeah.
When you're doing that kind of stuff, are you thinking about your day, visualizing
Absolutely, yeah.
anything?
Oh, except when I'm in the gym. When I do my cardio, I just watch videos of me because I'm awesome. Obviously, God's gift.
Check out this-
God's gift.
GAWDS.
God's gift. Yeah, I'm the only guy who watch videos of myself, and it's awesome.
Do you follow anybody else? Like, do you listen to any like podcasts, or you listen to?
No, I hate to say it, I really don't.
Okay.
Yeah, but I
Just
should
yourself.
because, and I hear things like I was telling these guys that I was going to be on your show, and they follow you like, oh, it's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome. I can't wait to watch
Like, never
it.
heard it.
Never heard of it.
I know. I'm like, Mark, and they're like, no, I never heard of it. But then they start telling me of all these different podcasts. It's like, this one guy, he talks about the radicalization and the violence that throughout history. You know what I
Right.
mean? There's so many wild things.
I've
out
been
there.
on Rogan twice, and I've never listened to him really.
ever since,
until more recently.
I
The
think
best conversations I ever have with you are about movies and TV. What's your favorite movies ever and favorite TV shows?
Oh, right now, well, I'm a huge Game of Thrones fanatic.
Yeah, Game of
I think it revolutionized television to no degree.
Brilliant.
It's the
And
writing.
they spent a lot of money on it.
Yeah, the writing's epic. The acting is epic. It's just it makes movies look shitty.
I'm catching up. I started late on it, so
Yeah.
I'm not like up to speed, but I've been watching it.
Yeah, so I mean, I can't wait for that to happen.
Cinematic.
Yeah.
The last season was really good. The season before that was a little hit
Yeah.
and miss, but
Well, I like boycotted in the beginning because every time something's popular, I'm like, I'm not watching that shit, and then then it gets too popular.
But it's they revolutionized actually television or movies in the fact that
so I have to watch
you
it.
like a hero, he could be dead the next week.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
no one would ever do that. You know what I mean?
Right, kill 'em off.
I grew up watching Starsky and Hutch or old westerns where guns were you could shoot bang man.
Well,
and
I
they were
remember watching Braveheart with Smelly in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, first of all, we wanted to leave after the first 3 minutes because we're like, they're going to talk like this the whole time?
Yeah, like, this is annoying.
But then as soon as a guy slit the wife's throat,
Yeah.
and we knew that in
That
film,
music
I
kicks in.
just got done with film school. I'm like, you can't do that. You can't kill a main
I know,
character.
right.
And as soon as he killed her and she fell on him and then fell down,
Yeah.
he turned to me and goes, this is going to get really good. You know, like he knew like right then, like,
that
oh,
was so
and then
good.
it was just the best thing we ever saw. I think we saw it 3 days in a row in a movie theater or something.
Yeah, we were fired.
Actually,
we were fired up.
Great-
Super long.
1995, yep.
Braveheart was my closer for Monica.
Yeah.
I took her to that movie, and actually no,
Freedom.
Yeah, freedom. It is a great
freedom
scene.
of panties.
Totally, yeah, it was freedom of panties.
Just rip your clothes right
Yeah,
off. Be
it
free.
was. Yeah,
just be free,
here's a
Monica.
funny story.
Let's
Remember
just be
my old
free.
training partner, Skip? Remember
Yeah,
Skip?
Skip.
Skip was help editing him, and there was one set that Mel Gibson yells "Freedom!"
Right.
and then he's like "Freedom!" So Skip's line was like, "More free, less dumb." And Mel Gibson loved it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, that's fucking great that he had a shirt. More free, less dumb.
Yeah. That's great.
What's the craziest thing you've seen at Gold's Gym other than the pistol whipping battle?
That was a tough one.
Remember the human abrasion?
Oh, yeah.
That was a friend of his, right?
No, that was Calandrino.
Oh, it's Calandrino.
Yeah,
but he
human
but he
abrasion.
knows. No, does he not know him?
I don't know.
No, anyway.
So many lunatics.
There's great nicknames all over the
Oh,
place.
absolutely. Well, there was a girl, Crazy Mary, who ran in the gym one day naked and chased bodybuilders. And,
Just totally naked.
yeah, she was like
her
she.
nickname came from.
Well, she was a street person, but she was kind of like she wasn't like 100% hideous. You know what I mean? She was like,
were you in the gym the other, not too long ago when the snake got loose?
yeah, absolutely.
When the snake,
Yeah,
this
snake.
guy would come in.
Oh,
and
let
he-
me finish my story first.
Okay.
Then we'll go to the snake guy. So Mary would come in, and she wasn't like she was like semi-attractive. You know, some days she'd be on meds, some days she wouldn't be. So one day she had no meds, and she'd be like, "I want to fuck a bodybuilder today." We'd be like, "All right, Mary, who are you gonna fuck?" She'd be like, "I don't care, but I'm gonna fuck someone." And she stood there, stripped naked, and fucking ran after bodybuilders. And I've never seen guys run so fast. You mean like Flex? We were like, "What the fuck?" Guys are running around equipment, and she's like, "Someone's gonna fuck me," and it was fucking insane. Like 113-pound woman had 300-pound guys scared to death.
Did cops come? Or
Oh,
anything like that?
absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
They came and everyone's just cracking up. And she's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I just want bodybuilding dick. Someone has to fuck me today." And the cops are like handcuffing her. And she's like, No, I can't get a bodybuilding dick. She was like so like perplexed why someone wouldn't just fuck her.
Yeah. Well, I'm perplexed. Why didn't somebody just bang her up? I mean,
Well, Chris wasn't there.
They spent so much time chasing it that it gets scared when it chases.
when
them.
it comes back,
Yeah. No, the snake story. The guy had this huge green duffel bag.
like
was-
Jake the Snake Roberts.
Absolutely, it's exactly the
Oh,
exact
actually,
same.
it was a roller bag he had.
Yeah.
And he would come in, and I would be like, "What's in that bag?" And he goes, "Well, it depends on the day. Sometimes he was a big black guy. He's like, sometimes it's my snake, and other times it's my supplements.
I find your impersonation of a black guy very racist.
It depends on the day. And so I'm like, what do you mean you're snake? He's like, I have a 12-foot python. I'm like, I bet you do.
Yeah.
And so
It's right down here.
The very first time I ever met this guy, he was like, say, you did like that documentary or something, right? Like he was just like this really kind of cool.
And he was so nice.
He was a magician. That's what his job was. So I was like, well, maybe he really has a snake, right? So I guess this one day, this girl just started screaming like bloody murder because the snake got out in the gym. This 12-foot python. The guy really had a snake in his bag. He was that crazy to bring it into the gym because he didn't want to leave it in the in his car because it would get hot. Yeah. And like he really had a snake, and I thought it was a joke for months because I knew about it. Yeah. They're like, you knew about this and you let it like still go on. I'm like, I didn't think he was telling the truth.
Chris was like, I thought he meant it in his pants.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you got going on now?
Today or business?
Zero.
Just period. Yeah, just in general.
My typical day is do a little training, meet and greet, hang out, walk Venice, goof off, get adventures and misadventures.
What's next?
For me?
Any big plans to travel or do anything this year?
My India connection is still pretty strong, so they want me to go back out there, but and I'm sure I'll probably go just for a visit, nothing long term.
You have any plans to ever take this bigger? Like you've done a lot in fitness. Ever want to write a book or do a video series or YouTube or anything like that?
My social media is terrible. You know what I mean? Because I just, you know what I mean?
I thought you picked it up recently. You're doing a lot of videos and stuff like that now.
Yeah,
right?
that's why I have a media team
You're
helping me.
You're old guy trying to learn it. That's okay though. You'll figure it out.
So and that's what I am. I am.
No,
old guy
I like
trying to
when
learn.
you started putting out some information. I was like, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Yeah. So I keep trying to do that, and then I keep trying to be informative and funny and entertaining.
Where can we find that? At Mike Ryan.
Yeah, Mike Ryan, Mike_Ryan_ celebrity trainer.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got some projects coming up or anything like that?
I got this cat named Ricky Whittle, and it's not a fake name. This is a cool.
I know Ricky Whittle.
Have you
That's
heard
a
American
total fake
Gods?
name.
Ricky Whittle's the actor.
Yeah, he's on 300, but he's going to be the lead in American Gods.
Okay.
Which supposedly would be like the next Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's Neil Gaiman's
Yeah.
book.
Oh,
Yes.
Neil Gaiman's amazing.
Yeah.
Sandman, right? Neil Gaiman.
So,
no, is he?
Yeah. This was a novel.
Okay, yeah.
And the premise is wild. It's like the old gods are walking the earth because no one worships anymore. So the god of love, the god of war, they're just walking the earth. And they're hanging out in America. Yeah, totally. And all these new gods, like the gods of social media, they have all the power now. So it's a struggle.
The gods of powerlifting.
Yeah. Yes. So it's so the guy I'm training, he's the lead, and hopefully he'll be a megastar. So
He's British.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really,
what else was he in? 300.
300. Oh no, the 100. No, I'm sorry, the 100.
On TV series.
Yeah.
That all the early reviews are really good for that.
Yeah.
And there's a trailer out that's amazing.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like Game of Thrones meets Avengers meets Madness, and the cast is, they got they get Ian McShane, who's Al Swearinger from Deadwood, if you ever watched that, who's the best. And then they get some like Crispin Glover, remember him? Yeah. From Marty McFly's dad.
Yeah.
So he was always a whack job. So they get some really crazy.
He's really a whack job.
Oh, totally. Yeah, he was banned for TV because he tried to kick David Letterman one time. He's like, I've been learning martial arts, and tried to kick him in the head. And next thing you know, he was like, nowhere to be found. Yeah, it's
an awesome story.
It was so crazy. Like, I'm like, wow, what a cast. He's like, yeah, we were trying to get all the lunatics, but no one could get in touch with Mickey. I said, yeah, if he's the head lunatic, he would have fit in well.
Him and his torn bicep.
Totally.
Mickey Rourke tore his bicep, like arm wrestling somebody.
Yeah.
And then he had like it was a balloon put in there or something. He's got like
he tried to get an implant.
Like an implant in his arm.
It's all weird.
It's all like silly.
He's so nutty.
He's great though.
He's fucking
He's like the funniest guy ever. He's got like 20. He had like 20 dogs. Remember?
Yeah, I told you. Short fat guy. That was his nickname.
So I would be like, Mickey, you don't even remember my name. He goes, yeah, I do. Short fat guy.
Yeah.
That was like how he knew me forever. And then finally, after Bigger, Stronger, Faster, he remembered me.
Perfect.
Yeah. We go to
He started asking me about steroids. I'm like, why don't you ask like Charles Glass or something? He goes, because all those bodybuilders on the wall in Gold's Gym, they're all dead.
That's great.
That's what he told me.
That's a good way to weed it out.
yeah.
Who motivates you, Mike?
Who does motivate me?
Present or even as a
me.
kid. Who'd you look up to?
Well, good question.
Could be a family member. Could be whatever.
No, my dad was very
Could be the
instrumental.
Bell Brothers.
Roddy Piper.
No, I loved wrestling. But my dad was probably the first guy because he was training weights, so he taught me weights. So he was course,
You guys live together?
a little bit, yeah. You know, and he was so intense, he'd yell at me. So I'd be like, "Fuck, you're so crazy."
You had a lot of football coaches that you're still friends with and stuff
yeah.
too, like those
Yeah.
guys from Peabody that come
Yeah.
out. His football coaches.
Your dad was real big on like not cutting corners and that kind of. He was kind of old school, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But like your
I think I
football
remember-
coaches still come visit you and
yeah,
stuff, right?
yeah. So
like,
I was
Yeah,
tight
most
with
people
a lot
don't
of
have
people.
those relationships.
He's
like
got
that.
a lot of good relationships from when he was young, which I
Yeah.
think a lot of people don't have. I know I don't have.
Yeah.
But
That's
you have a
'cause
lot
you're
of
a
good
dick.
bonds from back home.
Yeah, my friends are still my best friends. I have a guy coming out that he was my captain in football. He's gonna stay with me for 2 weeks and
Yeah.
next week. You know, yeah. My coach came out last year. Yeah, I have all these really cool relationships that I'll treasure to death.
Yeah.
And so
And you go home a lot, like twice a year, probably
yeah.
go back to
yeah,
Boston.
it's good. So my dad and being in athletics, you know what I mean? Like as a kid, I always wanted to meet Jack Lambert, so I saved up all this money and went to offense defense.
Fucking Jack
We
Lambert.
went to offense,
Yeah,
defense.
it
Yeah.
was the greatest football camp ever.
It's amazing.
And Jack Lambert was such an animal that some kids
He
were
was my
wise.
favorite guy too, Jack
Yeah.
Lambert and Terry Bradshaw.
Some kids were he was giving his lecture at night, and some kids were goofing off that he whipped a chair at like a 13-year-old kid. I'm like, this guy's fucking awesome. He doesn't give a shit if you're 13 or 23 or 33. He'll
Yeah.
fucking kill everyone. You know what I mean? So you're so intense. I was like, oh, that's great. And then, of course, the heyday of wrestling, which was the best. You know what I mean?
Mad Dog used to tell me that Jack Lambert was gay. And it used to make me so mad. Because like,
it's not possible.
I've heard the rumors. He's like, you haven't heard the rumors? And I'd be Googling that shit all like, he was always
That's
trying
funny.
to tell me.
No, he would smoke. He was a chain smoker.
I don't know what.
Which was
Mad
crazy.
Dog was just trying
He's
to.
200 pounds. He's a linebacker.
Yeah.
6'3", 200 pounds.
And
He's a linebacker.
just pure fucking grit and anger. Yeah, he was
amazing.
awesome. Yeah, so, and then, of course, wrestling came, and then the movies of the 80s came.
But
so,
you're a huge Patriots fan now, right?
yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Where you're from.
Yeah, Tom Brady. Huge fan of Tom Brady.
How can you not be?
How can you not be?
Everybody is.
And I hate people who say, oh, fuck Tom Brady, blah, blah, blah. He consistently takes a pay cut.
Right.
He's not even the top 25 highest paid players in the NFL, which is
Yeah.
insane because he was
Make
the
any
greatest football player ever. And when you look at a guy like him, talk about an awful physique. He trains. I mean, it's terrible.
Sorry, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, they showcase him in the combine.
Yeah.
He was terrible. He's
Right.
slow. He has no
Yeah.
physique, but this guy fucking works hard at his craft every single
He's
day.
just amazing.
And he's a team player, and that's the guy that every team. That's the kind of guy you want your kid to be.
Yeah, I love the quote that he had when they asked him maybe about 2 years ago. They're like, "What's your favorite Super Bowl victory?" And he said the next one.
Yeah.
It just gives you an idea of the fucking
Yeah,
mindset.
totally,
The guy's
absolutely.
a savage.
Yeah, he is a savage.
Where can people find you? Where can they reach you?
Yeah, Mike_Ryan_celebrity trainer Instagram, Gold's Gym, brothel, strip joints.
Short and fat.
Finer
My
brothels
house.
and
Shortfat.com. No. At Big Strong Fast.
big strong.
Multiply your hustle, multiply your muscle, and may all your shits be tapered. I'm at Mark Smelly Bell on Instagram and Twitter. See you later.
Thank our sponsors right here.
Shout out to all of our sponsors. Reebok, the official shoe of the PowerCast, home of the Legacy Lifter at Reebok.com. 8-Man Apparel for people who lift heavy weights at 8manstrong.com. Compex Muscle Stim products at CompexUSA.com. Use the code PowerCast, get an additional 28% discount. HowMuchYouBench.net, home of Mark Bell's Slingshot. Use the code PowerCast and get 15% off Slingshots. Power Magazine, the world's only strength magazine, available in both digital and print at thepowermagazine.com and bodybuilding.com for all of your supplement needs.
I'm the Jim McDean on all of the social medias where I want you to find me. Follow the show on Instagram. We are at Mark Bell's PowerCast, and we are out.
Keep it cheap.
We're all 9 minutes away from getting a stunner.
Nice. Wow, 11:20. We can pay it over.
Hey, this is Jim McDonald. Welcome to episode 215 of the PowerCast. Way back in the beginning of the show, probably like 210 episodes or so ago, we asked